He's the amazing Dr. Gray. He's Mr. Organized. He can organize your life too. And if rash develops, discontinue use.
This is the world famous Strictly Business Show with Dr. J, the sexiest business show in the world with all the business moves you really need. strictlydoctorj.com. I'm here with my co-host, Patricia Rae. My reoccurring co-host. She pops in and pops out whenever she feels. It's in her contract. She can just come and go as she pleases. I don't ask any questions.
As soon as you start paying me, I'll have to be here.
Yeah,
full
when
time.
I start paying her, she'll have to be here. We'll do shows 7 days a week then. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, Patricia, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you I'm glad you arrived.
Thanks.
And because I'm a little, like I said in my introduction, I'm a little down. Dr. J was a little under the weather. And we live in Cali.
Oh, yeah.
Southern
we live
Cali.
in.
I've been born out here by way of Compton. And I'm used to tragedies. I've seen I felt the earthquakes. I've seen the mudslides. I've never really lived near any disaster other than the L.A. riots. I was living in Compton at the time during the L.A. riots.
Wow.
So that's as close as I get to the front lines. But this was tragic. This wasn't wildfires. This was a firestorm.
It was.
And I have a lot of friends. I have a good friend whose mom lost her house. But fortunately or unfortunately, her mother cheated death about 3 years ago because she had a brain aneurysm in another country.
Jesus.
And she survived, and so she didn't care. She said, "Oh, evacuate. Let me grab my purse and I'm out." Because
see ya.
Because after you cheat death, it's like, I'm lucky to be here. I'm blessed. You can keep all this stuff. I'm on borrowed time as it is. So she didn't really dread it. But there are a lot of people who lost their houses. I mean, just tear into this, Patricia Rae. I don't know. I'm always stunned by the tragedy of it all. But then again, I'm always stunned by the over coverage of the media. And I didn't talk a lot about this until now because I get torn between, because Dr. J is a media professional. And I always get torn between professional.
He uses that term loosely.
Loosely, very loosely. And I am a media personality. And sometimes I get torn between, okay, we cover things here at New HD radio, but I get torn between, am I covering it for the good of people, or am I trying to get some time myself? Do I want people to say, oh, listen to Dr. J, he's doing his thing? So I'm always torn between doing the Lord's work here, because there's other big media outlets to get information.
Yeah, absolutely.
The most updated information. So I kind of leaned back a little bit. I didn't go on Instagram and, people were using Instagram for good and go here, go there, go everywhere. I didn't do any of that because I'm like, there's other places to do that. I don't want to come off so altruistic that I'm trying to sit here and do it. So what do you think about that?
I totally understand where you're coming from. There's a really fine line between being proactive and volunteering and sharing information, and then using it as a platform for yourself to say, look at me, look at how involved I am, how altruistic I am. So I try to walk that line very carefully as well. As a healer, I try to offer myself in the ways that I can best, whether it's being supportive, compassionate. I have been doing a lot of volunteering, going to donation centers, sorting clothes, helping fire survivors, also choosing your words, more compassionately and more mindfully, instead of saying fire victims, stop victimizing these families, call them survivors, or, but I have seen firsthand the way the community has open their homes, open their closets, open their
Yes.
wallets, and open their hearts. I did recently put a post after I volunteered this week at a place that was very unorganized, and I was picking through garbage bags of clothes that belonged in the garbage that shouldn't have been donated. And so I put a post up telling people just be mindful and respectful, because a lot of these people need clothes to go back to work. They need to be presentable. They need to look like they're wearing clothes that they bought, not clothes that they found,
Yeah,
in the
right.
garbage. A lot of these clothes had stains and holes and pits,
Yeah.
like pitting. Dog hair. I can't tell you how many of these donations had hair all over them. They weren't even laundered. I mean, how disrespectful. There's an etiquette for donating clothes. Don't give
Yes.
something away that you wouldn't wear anymore.
And that's what people have in their garage, unfortunately, or
And
the back of
so
their closet.
people have been using this as a purge to get rid of stuff.
Mm.
Don't give away shoes that look dirty, that are nasty, that are not rubber band them together. Help the people that are volunteering sort through this stuff. A lot of this stuff is like just balled up,
Yeah.
smashed into bags, like together. Men's clothes, women's clothes, babies' clothes. At least sort them out. Do your part. Be a good neighbor. It's very generous for people to go out and volunteer and to donate, but be respectful and be mindful.
Yeah, there's a
And
right and wrong way to do everything.
exactly.
All
So
things decently and in
yeah,
order.
and I learned a lot of things myself. I learned the things that you can want to volunteer and then realize that the job you're volunteered for is not suited to your personality or to your nervous system. I literally almost had a nervous breakdown at this one place that was so overwhelming and so disorganized that after 2 hours I had to remove myself from the situation. And that's okay. You can donate in ways that are more suited to you. Not everyone has the temperament for things like that. So
I volunteered, not at this situation. I have a church I'm currently affiliated with that they go to a food bank once a month. It's a men's group.
mhm.
And I was, oh yeah, this is gonna be cool. I can get to work at a food bank for Saturday. I'm not doing anything. And
Uh-huh.
I did
Like
that.
to make
Ooh,
meals.
just give meals out to people,
Oh, to
already
give meals.
prepared meals and
Okay,
food,
gotcha.
just
To feed
grocery store.
people.
Yeah,
Hmm.
canned goods, stock food, stuff like that, and even meats. And that was a lot of work for 2 hours. And
Yeah.
I'm a bigger guy, so of course the woman in charge put me in charge of the meat. So here I am, big freezers full of frozen meat. I gotta chip away at. It's big slabs of chicken breast and stuff. I have
Oh
to.
wow.
So
Like
you talking about back-breaking work? I'm like, this is hard work.
yeah,
And
yeah.
some people come there and they kind of rude and obnoxious about it. That happens. People, they're like, hurry up. They don't want to wait. They're in long lines. And it's like, this is hard work. And I haven't been back since. I am going to go back eventually, but don't underestimate volunteering, because they need people who are really into it. Don't think you just come in there and smile and do light
No.
work. Some of this
Yeah.
stuff is heavy duty work, heavy
And
lifting,
have
and long hours.
and long hours and just really um stressful. It can be really
Yes.
stressful and sad and emotional, but there are
Yeah.
a lot of people that have you know g- uh, like gathered all of their resources and are doing really great things.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we close this segment out, I want to talk about, of course, the damn scammers.
Oh god.
It's real easy to come up with a GoFundMe account. It's not hard. Be careful. Okay, every GoFundMe isn't a good GoFundMe. All right,
Mm.
so
So there
uh,
are fake GoFundMe accounts out there
Yeah, just
already.
to get money. They're not going to do anything but pocket the money. The church I'm affiliated with, they said, if you want to donate to a GoFundMe, we actually have a list of people we know personally that lost stuff. So you can come here, and our GoFundMes have been vetted. And we know this is going directly to somebody that helps. Sometimes we just donate money and just put it out there. And sometimes you really shouldn't do that. Even the big organizations like Red Cross, sometimes that money doesn't always get to the people it needs to get to. So try to get with an organization or a church or local community where you actually know somebody that lost something personally. It may take a little work, but be careful of that, because the scammers are out, the looters are out. There's always going to people.
The arsonists are out.
Arsonists are out.
Like, why does crisis and tragedy bring out the best in humans, but also the worst in humans?
Because people can't change. I mean, if you're a thief, you can't change. You know, a leopard can't change your spots. You know, why are you a thief? Because I'm good at it. And that's just it. Why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. So that does come out. So be careful about that. And also, we talked about it a little bit before we came on, is about the news. If I have to hear another depressing story, I get it. I don't feel better about myself seeing somebody in tragedy and loss. I think the news overdoes it. We already have too much news as it is, telling me how bad these people have it, what they lost. I mean, okay, I get it. Okay, but it's getting to the point of exploiting. You have nothing else to talk about. You don't feel like you should talk about something else. It just gets to the point I had to turn the channel. I had to turn to SpongeBob SquarePants.
Your favorite.
My favorite cartoon, to get some relief. So that's what I had to do.
I felt the same way last week, and I just disconnected. You know, I was like glued to the TV for the first 3 or 4 days. Got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The first day was on attached to the news all day. You definitely have to go and do normal things. You know, it's hard to exercise if you're in an area where the air quality is not great. Today was the first day I was able to exercise. We got an air filter because the first few days we're in a valley. And so we were surrounded by 3 fires, the Eaton fire, the Hearst fire, and the Pasadena fire, and then the Hollywood fire. And it created like a smoke bowl in my neighborhood.
Oh, man.
So the air quality was so bad, I couldn't even breathe for the first 2 days. So I was chasing down an air purifier. So we finally got one. So I'm finally getting back to routine, maybe exercising, read a book, you know, listen to some music, calm your nervous system, pray, meditate, do some breathing exercises, play some games with your family or your friends, you know, trying to create some normalcy back into your life, just to allow your nervous system to reset. And because it can be so stressful, and you know there's going to be a lot of repercussions coming out of this.
Absolutely. And
health repercussions.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. And remember, people lose houses and stuff every day that we don't even hear about a lot of times. So loss is in the air. I mean, it's always there. And let's just put it into some perspective, because you got somebody who got their house burned down last year, and I can assure you, they say ain't nobody helping me.
Yeah, I think it's just a cumulative tragedy, and that's why it's getting so much press and so much attention. But our hearts go out to everyone.
This is the Strictly Business Show with me, Dr. J and Patricia Rae. And Patricia Rae.
Rae.
A New HD Radio. I didn't know if you was going to say